All right, I want to welcome you all to the post-show chat for TEDxYouth Chatham. A little backstory before we get started, pulling back the curtains, if you will. All of our talks that you saw tonight were actually pre-recorded Memorial Day weekend in the high school auditorium with extra social distancing measures, which I think makes their stories and their delivery and their inflection and their presentation all the more impressive that they didn't have the feedback of a full auditorium. But I can tell you, watching the show tonight, I could feel the feedback and the energy of the audience, and I know that they could too. So thank you for being a part of that. Even my hosting was pre-recorded from my apartment. You can see a new shirt tonight. But I did pre-record that and have a lot of fun doing that. But we are live now, and this is where you'll get to hear a little bit more from the speakers about what the process was like for them and what it's been like to get their talk from idea to the stage. So I'm really happy for that. And I just want to share before we get started that I hope that the talks tonight spark the importance of empathy and ideas and connection, and bring about real honest conversations that continue beyond tonight. That's really what these events are all about, connection. And we felt that last year, and we know the ideas lived on, and we're excited for that to happen tonight, even in this format. So let's welcome our speakers in so we can hear a little bit more from them. Hello, Ben. Hello, Hailey. Hello, Jacob. Thank you for that amazing song to end the night for us. Maddie, welcome. Hey, Matthew. And Rachel, thank you so much for being here. I am so proud of you all and just beyond excited for you to have this moment tonight. So I just kind of want to share, first get your thoughts. You all just gave a TEDx talk, and that is amazing. That's incredible. I'm so proud of you. Can you share a little bit about what that was like for you and how you're feeling right now? In one sentence, just share a little bit about how you're feeling. Ben, you want to start us off?
Yeah, it was, I feel very relieved. Like, after taking the class all this time in quarantine, just to finally see like the finished product, it really was great.
Awesome. Hailey?
I'm so honored that I was able to share my message with everyone. I got a lot of texts and emails from people afterwards, congratulating me. So it means a lot. And I'm hoping that I make an impact in people's lives.
You absolutely have already done that and will continue to, Hailey. Jacob, how about you? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling like, I don't know, there's so many people watching. I was just amazed, just that I got to do this, and I'm so happy that I got to be a part of this.
And Maddie, how about you?
Oh my gosh, just such a big mix of just what everyone said, especially Ben. I'm so relieved, and also with Jacob, I'm just it's so exciting and such an honor.
Awesome, and thank you for kicking off the night for us too and getting it all started. And Matthew, how about you?
I just have to agree with everyone else before me, and also just so happy when my video came up on the screen in my head. I'm like, during my talk I did this bad, and then just seeing it actually go together, I just felt so relieved and happy.
Amazing. And I'll give Matt a shout out. He was he's our only second semester student, so that was the first and only time he's ever been on stage giving that talk, which is just amazing. And how about Rachel, our amazing teacher?
Thank you. It's surreal. It's really a surreal experience, and I feel so lucky and honored to be a part of it, and especially amongst these 5 incredible students, it's pretty special.
It is incredibly special. And we actually have a special guest with us tonight, so I'm going to invite them in just to share a few words about what this night has meant. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, welcome all. So you guys are probably wondering who I am. So I'm actually with Crocs, Matthew. There it is. There's the face I was looking for. Before I kind of dive into that though, I do just kind of want to just let you guys know this was absolutely incredible. And thank you, Ms. McCabe, for inviting me to be a part of this. I can't begin to tell you, each one of you, how incredibly inspired and encouraged I am in kind of the future and your guys' future, and just how bright you guys are hopefully going to make it for all of us. So thank you. And in this time in particular, I think we all needed a little bit more of that. So thank you so much. So a few weeks ago, I received an email from our president and CEO. He was very excited to share a letter with me that he received from a high school student who was going to be participating in a TEDx event. In the letter, Matthew Goldstein explained that he would be delivering and sharing about the positive impact Crocs has made in his life, and he kindly asked if we would be able to tune in. Mr. Reese was not able to join this evening, but he wanted to personally make sure that I participated, made it very clear that your voice was in fact heard, share how much that it meant to him, and frankly, all of us internally. We had a lot of fun kind of brainstorming on how we would participate and surprise you. And more importantly, just share the same love for the brand that I know we all internally really feel here at Crocs. So on behalf of him, I have a letter that I wanted to share with you. So Matthew, on behalf of Crocs, I want to take a moment to congratulate you on this incredible achievement and being selected by your school for this TEDx event. I was delighted to receive your letter and learn that our brand has had such a positive impact in the way that you've lived your life. Though I was unable to join this evening, your teacher, Mrs. McCabe, was kind enough to share a sneak peek with us. So he did see an early edition of your talk. I have to say I was genuinely blown away, not only by the talk, but also by the way in which you choose to see the world and embrace new opportunities every chance that you get, with Crocs no less. The message you're sharing is incredibly meaningful now more than ever. If you haven't already received it, you do have a package headed your way as a small token of our appreciation and congratulations for tonight. And in addition, we would like to provide a pair of Crocs shoes for you and up to 25 of your friends, family, travel partners, whomever you choose, because we want to make sure that they can put on their Crocs, get out, explore the world around them, and make some great new memories in your honor. So congratulations again on this amazing accomplishment. I wish you all the best and have no doubt that only great things lie ahead for you in your future. Sincerely, Andrew Reese, Crocs President and CEO. So Matthew, keep pushing forward. Your voice is heard, your voice is powerful, and that goes for all of you and anybody on this call. Any one of you, Jacob, Maddie, everyone, if you guys would like a pair too, I'm going to be coordinating with Ms. McCabe and making sure that you guys all receive something as well.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words. I sent a DM to the Instagram. I got to the customer service. I found the CEO's email online. I was not expecting any of this. Earlier today, my parents were like, imagine if someone from Crocs watched. I'd be like, that'd be crazy.
We watched, and we actually are going, we have something every other week called 1200 seconds. It's just kind of a quick internal regroup with the whole organization of kind of what's going on in the business and to give shout outs to folks. So we didn't want to tell you in advance because we didn't want to make you nervous, but we are going to be sharing the link to your talk throughout the company as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, really, and thank all of you. This has been a pleasure to be a part. And again, like voices can be heard, so keep on keeping on, keep doing it, and keep enjoying and exploring in your Crocs. We love it.
Thank you so much, Melissa. The smiles tonight that you're seeing on screen is just priceless and just amazing. So thank you for continuing to spread joy. And Crocs has done amazing work giving shoes to our healthcare workers. And thank you for just being a great company, a great representative being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Proud to represent. Thank you all.
I love seeing those big smiles. This is amazing. So my next question is, what was the best or most surprising moment of all of your talk? I think Matthew just had an incredibly surprising moment right there. But as you were preparing your talks, delivering it, any sort of part of the process, even again, the ups and downs of thinking, is this event even going to happen? Is there a moment that stands out as being like the best or most surprising for you? Maddie, do you have anything that comes to mind?
I think the way we had to film them, there was only like 4 people in the auditorium at the time. I mean, 5, I guess, including us. And I think it was especially special for me because not only did I have my mom, but like I had Ms. McCabe, I had, and John Latono, who's our technical director at the high school. So he basically runs stage crew, and like, it was really special to have him there for like the filming of it. That was definitely like a really cool thing that happened for me.
Love it. How about Jacob?
Sorry, I just realized I wasn't on mute.
All good.
But I'm even surprised for Matt right now. I mean, congratulations, that's amazing. But yeah, I was when I heard I was selected, I was really excited and happy to be able to share my idea with people. But then I heard it might not be happening because of the whole coronavirus. So, I mean, I'm just really happy we were able to put something together. And thank you, Mrs. McCabe, for making this happen for us.
It was a whole team. I'm honored to be a part of it, but there's a lot that went on behind the scenes to make this happen, and I'm incredibly proud of you and happy that we could do it. So thank you, Jacob. Ben, how about you? A moment that stands out?
I guess one that stands out to me was just like that the event was still happening. Like after like COVID started, I was like, oh man, we're not gonna have TEDx Chatham. And even though I didn't talk last year, I still volunteered. I still have like the lanyard and this year. It was really awesome. And then I was like, yes, we got it. Like this is going to be great. And it turned out so well. Like I think this will be one of the best TEDx Chathams around for a while.
I think so too. How about you, Hailey? How are you feeling? Best or surprising moments?
I think probably for me, it was when I was actually delivering my talk, like, you know, to the 4 of you in the auditorium. It went by so quickly and that really, you know, stood out to me because when I would practice at home, I felt like I was talking for so long and I would practice it so much. And then when I actually delivered it, it went by in the blink of an eye and it just felt so natural. So I guess that was probably the most surprising part, but I think that's all, you know, due to the support I got from everyone here and from Miss McCabe. So yeah.
Thank you. And what's so cool too is, you know, that every talk tonight was about 8 minutes, but that 8 minutes will live on and have the power to influence lives. And like I said, you know, when I was hosting, I think that the talks from last year continue to have impact, and you all are part of that as well, and certainly had a lot of eyes on you tonight hearing your message. Rachel, what stands out to you?
I think for me, it's about the fact that it reminds us all that we have a voice. And I know as much as I'm in the classroom every day and I'm trying to, you know, form the future, it reminds me that I have other things to share besides science content, and the fact that this could still happen and, you know, in such a trying time, and it becomes something extra special and something that no one will ever really forget. So it's just an amazing thing.
Awesome. And Matt, I wanted to save you for last so you could catch your breath, but what about you? Best or surprising moment?
I think it's a given as to what is the most surprising, but before I spoke, definitely, is how much I learned about my own topic. In the classroom, I was just like, yeah, I love Crocs. I love hiking. How can I like get to put this into a talk? Because obviously I like public speaking. I really wanted to be a part of this. But throughout the whole process, I learned like, geez, people only spend 7% of their day outdoors, and all about the effects that the outdoors really has on us, more than just like that experiential learning of how important it is to us, but that physical impact it can have on us, which was really amazing. And it was just so cool how it all came together with the help of Miss McCabe and all of the other TEDx team.
Awesome. I love that. It's a great point. I think all the talks tonight really did a nice job of blending personal experience, what you deeply care about, research, and they all came together really nicely and super professionally. So I have a couple questions kind of directed to each of you before we wrap up. So Maddie, you started the night for us. Your talk was incredible, and you're someone who's usually behind the scenes, off stage. How did it feel to be on stage? Which do you like better after doing both?
Well, for the first question, it is so weird being on stage, and like I know that's not the greatest word to describe it, but it's just so weird. It's exciting, but it's also like, whoa, this has never happened before. And I know, like, doing the talk for the class, it was so much different than just doing it to like an almost empty auditorium. But like being able to put on my own microphone, like I've only put those on other people. It's definitely a weird experience in that regard. But I mean, I'm always going to be a backstage girl, you know, like I'm always going to be back there, headset on, making sure everything's going smoothly. But it certainly was a treat to be on stage.
And I will share, last year when I hosted with, again, more than 500 people in the auditorium, I was ready to throw up, and Maddie was backstage. I didn't even know Maddie then, but she was backstage with me, holding the curtain for me to walk on, and she made me feel so much better and so much calmer. I don't know if I could have gotten through the night without her. So thank you, Maddie. You're amazing. Whether you're backstage, on stage, you can do it all. And then Jacob, you're no stranger to the stage, but as a musician, so I'm just kind of curious, like which process you like better, the TED Talk, the music, speaking, playing? What do you have a preference? How is this unique or different for you?
I mean, when I'm putting together a set list, I don't usually add a TED Talk in, but I mean, it was definitely really interesting to not have my guitar with me, because usually my guitar is something to help me express myself, and it was just really strange to just be talking to an empty auditorium. Um, but yeah, and also with the song that I wrote, it was really inspired by the talk, and I just wanted to mention that it was it's really about living in the moment and a realization that some people come to about how important it is to live in the moment and what it could be like if other people listened to them and followed their lead. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that too.
So beautiful. And again, just to highlight that Jacob wrote that song in the time that we decided we were having a live stream event, and maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, which is just unbelievable. What's your writing process like, Jacob? Do you write lyrics first, music first? I know we've talked a little bit about this offline, but I think people might be curious.
Well, it always starts with a chord progression. I have to start, and then I start putting together a melody on top of it. And all of my songs come together in different ways, but I'd say that's probably the general way it comes together, with the chords first and then the words.
Awesome.
But yeah, the song is available now if anyone wants to listen to it on Apple Music and such.
I think a lot of people will want to listen to it. So yeah, definitely check out Jacob. He's an incredibly talented musician. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. It was a perfect way to end. Rachel, your experience was a little different, obviously, from the teacher end. Rachel is one of a handful of actually more than a handful, but a small group of teachers that went through TED Masterclass this summer. They were our first group. And Rachel, can you talk a little bit about what that was like? It was amazing for me, but from your perspective, what it was like to be part of that community.
I don't know if there are words to really describe like how much it meant to me to be a part of that and to get to know these other incredible educators and those who are kind of behind the scenes in the district that I got to know better from this experience. And from it, like Miss McCabe can tell you too, like we've become a tight-knit community in and of itself. We have like book club now, we have done Google Meets. So it's really been a transformational experience in like so many different ways that, you know, it's one of the best decisions I've made recently, for sure, is to have done this and to get to share my voice, but also to get to know other people a lot better.
Awesome. And I just was kind of wondering for you too, like as a teacher, you know, you stand in front of students all day. How is writing this talk and delivering this content, you know, different than who you are in the classroom, or is it?
It's definitely very different. For one, I am not nervous in front of my students. I'm sure Jacob could tell you that. I taught Jacob my first year teaching. It's like very natural for me to like just be with them in the classroom, but being on stage is far from natural for me, or even sharing something so vulnerable for me took, you know, it's amazing to me that they in high school can do this. I don't think I ever could have been, you know, so courageous to get up and tell my story to, you know, over 500 people when I was a junior in high school. So it's very different to write my story and tell my story. And it's something I'm open about, but it's not something I often talk about. So it's definitely different than teaching in that sense. But it's also been a really special experience for me because it's reminded me why it's so important to talk to my students about it. You know, when I first started teaching, I didn't share my story, and it took me 3 years to feel like I should and could do it. So it's been a very rewarding experience for me to be able to share my story and have my students get to hear it and other people too.
Well, thank you. You're changing a lot of lives every day just in the work that you're doing. So thank you. Hailey, you talk so much about the connections made by reaching out to people, just a simple outreach. Are there any moments, stories that come to mind as being particularly memorable that you kind of want to share from these moments of reaching out?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many, and I think recently I've started to reflect on a lot of them. Before it was just like these conversations I would have with people normally, but I think ever since being at home and having a big lack of connection with people, especially in person, I resorted to, you know, communicating with people online a lot. And a group of people I do have to point out are those who I met at the TED Ed event this February in New York. Yeah, I attended with 4 other students from the high school, and as many people as I could like meet there. I asked for all of their like Instagrams or Snapchats or social medias, and I still keep in contact with like as many as I can. One girl, Chris, who I met there, I became really close with. She's from Greece, and I remember we were on Snapchat one day and she helped me like design the layout of my room. And so now whenever I like go into my room and I see like, you know, my bookshelf and how it's like color coded to be rainbow, I think about Chris and how she, you know, helped me choose to do that. And then that kind of makes me think of everyone. So that's one thing I have to point out because it really meant a lot to me even, you know, 4 months later.
I love that so much. That's such a great idea. And I'm a big fan of color coordinating too. My bookcase is also color coordinated. So I love that. That's awesome though. What a great way to be able to think of her and feel that the good energy. Thank you. That's awesome. And Matt, I mentioned that you're our second semester student, certainly facing some unique challenges to bring your talk to the stage, especially since we went into remote learning about halfway through the semester. So can you talk a little bit about what that process was like, how you did that so quickly?
Yeah, it was very difficult, but definitely with Miss McCabe's help, I remember I was always in the mornings during lunch hours, just getting help. And then once we went to remote learning, just constant emails with Miss McCabe. Always, I would type up my thing. I'd be like, yes, I'm done. Next day, Miss McCabe comes on with 20 more revisions. But definitely it helped so much and definitely got my talk to where it needed to be. But I think Yeah, and I think what popped out a lot was obviously I never gave my talk on the stage before. And I'm not in music with the high school or theater or anything. So that first time I gave my talk on stage was actually the first time I've ever been on a stage. So the lights coming, and it was very scary, but it was also just such a cool experience.
I never would have known. You were a true professional, and I think you have a great future ahead of you if that's your baseline for public speaking. So that's just incredible. Thank you. And Ben, I have very fond memories of you being in class, and we just had a very, very joyful group your semester. Can you just talk a little bit about what taking the class was like for you, and maybe why you chose to take it, anything like that?
Well, so I first went to your class because I had you in my freshman year design English teacher, which one of the best years ever. I like that. Loved your class. And then I had a friend in that class named Michael. I'm pretty sure he's walking in and said, hey, Michael. But we decided we're going to do this together because we both really liked Mrs. McCabe, and we're like, it's going to be fun. But then we found our third friend, Rod, who joined and didn't tell us. So we quickly found like all three of us, we were the three musketeers, and we quickly we loved this class. Like we would look forward to it. We'd message each other like, guys, we have TED next. We gotta go. And not just like the TED so I felt amazing member. It was definitely having like my friends there, and even like people I didn't know. Like there's also people in the class, people who weren't in our grade, people who were, and I feel like we all just kind of became friends around this like scary idea of having to present in front of others. So that's really made the class memorable for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. That's one of my favorite parts about teaching this class is that it is very community driven, and there's a unit conversation right up front to build those connections to make everyone feel safe sharing their ideas. And every semester has just been that close-knit family in their own way. So it's amazing. Anyone else just kind of want to share any thoughts on that experience being in the classroom? Feel free to unmute yourself if you do. No pressure.
Well, I just wanted to say I sat at a table with Hailey and Maddie during our first semester class, and I mean, it was so nice to have people that just wanted to help, and they really helped me with all my ideas, and I couldn't be more happy with how it came out, I guess.
I didn't even think about that. That is a power table right there. Wow.
I also want to say our table was awesome, but the whole class environment was just great because the whole class is made up of seniors, juniors, and sophomores. And I think it was just super cool the fact that we were all really good friends. We all came in not really knowing each other. And then I have friends now like Hailey and Jacob who are both in 2 different grades than I am. It's having that kind of new sense of community would definitely make class like super fun.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I also think being in that class taught me a lot more than public speaking. And that's what I was expecting when I first joined the class. I was expecting to learn about public speaking, and I did. I learned so much, but I also learned a lot about, the values of friendship, and a lot about like learning, and a lot about myself too. And I think that was a really rare thing for me to be able to experience, especially given all the classes that are offered in high school. I think I'm really, really lucky to be able to still stay friends with the people who I met in that class. Like during the live stream just now, and there were little like snippets of everyone in the first semester class who talked, and I was like, I remember their talk, it was so good. And so yeah, I'm really, really honored to have met everyone and to be in the class.
Well, you all have taught me so much, and I think we all know that education is one of, if not the most powerful things we have as a tool to create change and to create impact, and you all are certainly having that. And I just want to kind of just end by thanking everybody, and thank you for everyone that's watching at home. Thank you for supporting us tonight. Thank you for connecting and sharing these ideas, and be well. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have an amazing night. Thank you all.